In this video, we're going to talk about Google Analytics for doctors. We're going to talk about why you need it, and we're going to cover the basics on how to use it. If you run a private wellness practice, chances are you have a website. If you have a website, but you're not using Google Analytics, well, think of it like this. Have you ever asked your child to do something, and instead of actually doing what you asked them to do, they just kind of tune you out and ignore you and go on about their business anyway, even though they're doing it some way that you're specifically not asking them to do or asking them not to do? It's kind of like that. I'm Boo Zamek, and this is the Meredith Callahur Show. I am very excited to be Meredith's guest this week on her weekly YouTube show. Meredith and I believe that hope is not a strategy. We've learned that the very best way to measure your success is by measuring your results. And the very best way to measure your results on your website is Google Analytics. Now, there's two things you need to know before you start. The first thing is Google Analytics is super robust and it's totally free. So if you're paying for some service that helps you track your website traffic and get all that information, you probably don't need to be paying. Google Analytics offers anything that any other one does within reason. Very unlikely that you're going to need more than Google Analytics. It should cover all your bases. And the second thing you need to know is that in order to use Google Analytics, you do have to have a Google email account. It can be a Gmail account, which is typically a personal account or intended to be, or it can be a Google business account. Either one, as long as it's Google. I'm going to talk to you today, assuming that you've already set up your Google Analytics account. I don't really think that we need to cover that in this video because it's pretty self-explanatory and very easy. So if you have not set up your Google Analytics account yet, go ahead and do that and then come back to me and watch the video. Okay, so we're going to start with two basic questions. Why do we need Google Analytics and what is it going to tell us? So let's first start with why do we need Google Analytics? What do we need it for? Google Analytics enables you to track and analyze all of the traffic that comes into your website. Once you have that data, you can look and see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Once you know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, well, then you can go back and make adjustments as needed to the things that you need to change, and you can also build on the things that you're doing right. And the second question, what are we going to learn? What is Google Analytics going to tell us? Well, there are actually 4 things that we're going to cover today. Google Analytics gives us all kinds of information, but I don't think that you need to drown yourself in it. I think you just need these 4 basic things, at least for now. Okay, the first thing is Google Analytics will show you how many people have come to your website and how much traffic it's getting, which are not necessarily the exact same thing. The second thing it'll tell you is who those people are. Where do they live? Where are they? The third thing it will tell you is how they got to you, how they got to your website, where they came to you from. And the fourth thing that you're going to learn is their behavior on your website. What are they actually doing while they're on your website? So before we go through each of these in detail, I want you to familiarize yourself with this. This is the admin tab. There's not too much that you need to really do here, but I do just want you to be familiar with it and take a look at it and just kind of understand how it works. It is self-explanatory, but for now, all you really need to pay attention to is the first of these 3 columns. Okay, so let's start with the Home tab. The Home tab gives you a snapshot of your data. So the rest of the stuff that we're going to do today is all going to be under the Reports heading. Let's start with real time. There's not really too much that you need to know about real time right now, but if you click Overview, you will see what's going on your website right now. So you'll see how many people are on your website and what they're doing on the site. But that's not as important as the other information that we're going to gather from Google Analytics in terms of measuring your results and your success in order to move forward. The Audience tab is very important. Click on Audience and then click Overview. One cool thing that you can do here on the Audience tab is you can select a date range. So here you'll see that I have February 4th through February 10th selected. But what's super cool is that you can also click Compare To. And you can enter, for example, February 10th, 2019 and February 10th, 2020, and it will compare those 2 dates or 2 different ranges. And that is really valuable information for measuring the activity and the progress of your website from, last month versus this month or last year versus this year. That's a great way to see how you're progressing. Now let's talk about who your site visitors are. We're going to do that by clicking demographics and then click overview. Now you'll see that I actually don't have demographics loaded in here yet. And the reason is because I don't have enough traffic on my website. I only have February 4th to February 10th here. So there's not a lot of traffic going on during that time. But if you do have a busy website with a lot of traffic, or you have like a launch or a ramp up or something exciting going on, then you should expect more traffic at that time, which is really kind of how our website works. Sometimes it's really busy, and then other times we have slowdown depending on what we're doing or promoting during that time. So as you dive deeper into the demographics, you're going to see gender and age. So because ours isn't really flowing right now, here's a screenshot of one that is. So take a look at this. You'll see that this demographic information is going to show the ages of the people who are on your site. We don't have it here in this screenshot, but you can also see the gender, which is also really helpful. So you can learn that, your website visitors are, men ages 25 to, 50, or, women ages 18 to 30, or whatever it is. That is super, super helpful. Whether or not that's the audience that you want, that shows you who your audience is, so that you can either build on that or make adjustments as needed. Now, the next thing that we're going to look at is where these people came from. All these people coming to your website, let's track them and find out how they came to you. We're going to do that in the next tab down by clicking Acquisition. Now look at Overview, and you're going to see a pie chart there that shows you pretty much where everybody came from. But the coolest thing ever, if you click All Traffic below that and you click Source Medium, check this out. Scroll just a little bit and it shows you all this very, very specific data showing exactly who came to you and exactly specifically where they came from. That information is very, very valuable. So on our page, you'll see that most people are coming to us directly from their browsers. So somehow, somewhere they're hearing about us, which we would love to be able to track, but it doesn't always work that way because they're not all coming to us from a link on a website or, from a YouTube video or from social media or whatever. Some of them are hearing about us, hopefully at, cocktail parties and PTA meetings, and typing in meredithandboo.com on their browsers. And that's how we're getting most of our traffic. Now, the next thing that we're going to look at is behavior. So I want you to click on the behavior tab underneath the acquisition tab. Next, click Overview. This is going to show you which pages are visited most and how long people have stayed on your site. So in this case, here's the number of page views. Here's the number of unique page views. And here's the average amount of time that our users spent on each page. Bounce rate means that they came to our site and left. Either they saw what they needed, that's all they needed to know for right now, or they came to your website and did not find what they were looking for and they left. They bounced. Just like when your kids say, I'm going to bounce or I'm going to dip. Now here you see page views and unique page views. Those are two different things because page views means the total number of pages cumulatively that was viewed on your site. But unique page views means the number of people. So I might go to a website 2 or 3 times in a week and look around on different pages. Each one of those counts as a page view, but I'm only unique the first time. So that covers our basic overview of Google Analytics. We will get into more detail another time on our part 2, which we'll do fairly soon, where we will cover a few other things that you can do. My favorite is that you can set up goals and you can track them that way. For example, if you have a campaign and you want people to, enter here or something like that, there are ways that you can track all that sort of stuff. So there's all these cool little tools and tricks you can do. But for now, go ahead and get started, familiarize yourself with it, play around with it a little bit, and give yourself a few weeks at least to start seeing what the patterns of your users are. And then we'll come back to you with a little bit more advanced lesson. Thanks for being here today.